Here are 5 ways that asking questions as an investor can actually make you more money. So in the investment world, I find that the people that ask the most questions tend to make the most money. And so I wanted to do a little bit of research and find out what exactly is about these people who are making more money just because they ask questions. And so there's 5 qualities that I found in these people that I think are valuable to pay attention to. Now, they're not the end all be all qualities of a great investor, but I think it's still an important thing to pay attention to and just at least assess what you have going on currently in your investment portfolio and think about whether you're doing these things, or maybe you can learn something that you should be doing and you can add to what you're already being successful with. So the first one is that asking questions keeps you flexible. So if you have a mindset of somebody who's asking questions, you're probably not very stubborn. You're not just fully set on that one thing that you want to do because you're open to learning. You're asking questions in order to be a flexible investor, and a flexible investor is often a profitable investor. Now, it doesn't mean flip-flop back and forth, but it means you don't get married to one specific idea, one specific investment strategy. Like, let's say you're taking a trade, right? And you're not so set on going short that you fail to see that the market is actually going up. And so if you're a flexible investor, if you're asking questions, you're asking, hey, is the market going up right now, or is this just my bias? And if you're asking that question correctly and you're able to answer honestly, of course, you can assess that, hey, I need to be flexible right now with my investment strategy and flip to the other side and go long because the market is going up. Why would I try to fight the market? Right? So flexibility is very, very important. The second quality, and I believe that asking questions leads to this, is curiosity. Being a curious investor allows you to learn about new things that maybe you didn't quite consider before. And I think it's very important for every investor to be doing this because there are so many things to learn, guys. Like, if you lack curiosity as an investor, I would say it's a very rare possibility and a very low likelihood that you are going to pick the best option every single time. Imagine if you're going to the store or you're ordering food and you only order one thing because you're just not a very curious person. What's the likelihood of you ordering the best thing on the menu? It's not very high. It's the same thing when you're an investor. You have a menu of investments in front of you. If you're not curious, even within one investment, right? Let's say I want to invest into oil wells. Well, if I only talk to one oil well company and one operator, I don't really have anything to compare it to. I don't know if that's a good investment or a bad investment, but curiosity would have solved that problem because now I'm curious. Oh, hey, what does this do? Why is the oil this color? Why does it do that? Why is this thing moving like that? Right? I'm curious, and I'm also asking other vendors the same things. I talk to this vendor, I talk to this investment operator, now I can go talk to that guy, and I can talk to that company. Because I'm curious, I can now assess the market and I can see what's going on and what the actual best fit is for me. Because what is the likelihood that the first company that I talk to is actually the best one? It's not very high. So I want to make sure that I'm curious as an investor and I'm letting curiosity guide my profitability. Number 3, asking questions leads to learning. So the only way that you can learn what you don't know is if you ask, right? Because you don't know what you don't know. But if you're asking questions, if you're asking the right questions from the right people, you're gonna be doing a lot of learning. And see, when you're learning, you're growing. And you're learning about different ways to make money, you're gonna start finding ways that work for you because everybody's investment portfolio and everybody's risk tolerance is very, very different. Everybody has their own preferences. There are certain things that they like, certain things that they don't like. And so as an investor, it's important to always be learning because there's always better things to do things. There are always new investments. There are always new things that come onto the market that maybe we didn't even expect or we didn't even know about. The only way that we can know about them is if we're open to learning and then applying, of course, what we learned, because that's how we become good investors. So I've done a lot of learning in my investment career, and I find that the faster that I can learn, the faster I can reach profitability with an investment. So whenever I start a new investment, my first priority, my top priority, the only thing that I'm really doing is learning. I'm trying to learn everything that I possibly can. I'm literally milking that investment for information in order to have the full picture, to understand everything that's going on in order for me to become profitable as soon as possible. Because once I've built that system, oh man, it's just a matter of time until I start scaling. Number 4, asking questions allows you to optimize. So we want to optimize our investments. How do we optimize our investments? Well, if we're not asking the right questions, like for example, hey, in this investment, let's say I have an Airbnb. In this investment, what parts of the Airbnb are making me the most money? See how I'm asking that question? Oh, I noticed that whenever I add a fire pit to my Airbnbs, all of a sudden I start making way more money. Oh, I noticed that when I add an umbrella by the pool, I make more money. Oh, when I have bicycles in the garage, I can charge $100 more per night. Now that's a bit of an exaggeration, but that's just an example of me asking questions. Oh, what if I do this? Oh, what if I do that? I'm asking questions to optimize in this scenario, right? I've already decided on the investment. I've already invested in something. I know I like this. I know I want to do this, but optimization allows my portfolio to grow. It allows me to make more money. It allows me to have a more stable portfolio. And the only way that I can optimize is if I'm asking the right questions. So asking questions is important in the optimization process. It leads you to the right answers that are going to take your investment portfolio or your business to the next level. So me personally, I'm a big fan of optimization through asking questions. And so I have like a list of questions that I ask myself with each investment that allows me to make sure that all my T's are crossed and my I's are dotted when it comes to optimizing profitability and increasing the likelihood that my investment is going to succeed over a long period of time. I'm not in any of these investments to make a quick buck. I'm in these investments for a long time in order to generate true passive income that's consistent and that I can rely on. And finally, number 5, asking questions allows us to collaborate. So collaboration is huge for me. I really love collaboration, but I'm not able to collaborate effectively if I'm not asking questions. So imagine if I'm collaborating with another investor. This person wants to invest with me. They want to provide, let's say, the sweat equity. So I'm financing the deal. I'm putting up my money and they're putting up all the work. They want to do the labor that's going to allow them to make this investment profitable. And then let's say we're going to split profit. So we're splitting everything 50-50. They're putting up all the work and I'm putting up all the capital. So great. It's a great deal. But if I'm not curious, if I'm not asking questions, I don't know how to make this investment successful. Oh, how much money do you need? Do you need it all at once? Do you need just a little bit right now? And then are you going to need additional capital later? Like, how does this work? I need to ask questions in order to be an effective collaborator. And the same thing goes for the other person. If he's not asking me, oh, how much money am I willing to contribute to this? What do I want to see out of him as far as performance? What metrics are we targeting? Right? These are all very, very important things that in order to be an effective collaborator, you got to ask questions. It's just part of communication. If you're asking the right questions, you're going to have a successful partnership. If you're asking the right questions, you're going to have a portfolio that has the potential to be super, super successful. These are all things where asking questions just helps us a ton and can really help us take things to the next level. So guys, make sure you're asking questions no matter what you're doing, no matter what type of business you're running. Ask questions because a lot of times things turn out a lot better when we start asking questions. So make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all on the next video.